Hello. Um, my name is Jiggy Agbayani. This is my um, activity for my completion. Chapter 7, Cost of Capital. So, meron akong problem dito na sinasabi, UG Corporation issued preferred stock for 130 pesos per share. The issue price is 21 pesos more than the stock's par value. The company incurred underwriting fees of 10 pesos per share. The stock will earn annual dividends of 13 pesos per share. If the tax rate is 30%, the cost of capital is, so formula lang natin doon is cost of preferred stock is equals to dividends per share over net issuance price. So, unahin natin yung net issuance price. Para makuha si net issuance price is gamitin natin si 130 issuance price ni preferred stock minus the underwriting fee of 10 pesos per share. So, makakakuha tayo ng 120 which is i-divide natin sa 13. 13 is the annual dividend per share. So, do the math. Makukuha lang din natin is 10.83%. Ganun lang po kadali. And dito sa problem 2, calculate the cost of capital in the problem and the following cases. So, number 1 problem is Team 7. Team 7 issues 12% debentures of face value 100 pesos each and realizes 95 pesos per debenture. The debenture are redeemable after 10 years at premium of 10%. So, gumamit tayo dito ng mga foreign terms, which is debenture is bonds, redeemable after, so maturity date is 10 years, and premium, familiar tayo sa premium. So, solve natin yung number 1 kay Team 7. Step 1 is, sinulat ko na yung mga steps dito, sir. Step 1 is, calculate net proceeds. The company receives 95 per debenture after issuing them. So, i-dissect muna natin yung mga given sa problem 1. Meron tayong interest rate of 12%. Face value of each debenture is 100 pesos. Realized price is 95. Premium of 10%. Redemption value, makukuha natin redemption value is 100 plus 10. So, yun, 100. 10% is 10. So, 100 plus 10 is 110. Yun ang redemption value natin. Terms of maturity is 10 years. And tax rate of 50%. So, step 2, calculate the annual coupon payment, debenture. The debenture pays 12% of face value of 100. So, the annual coupon payment is, ayan, 12% times 100 or 100 times 0.12. Meron tayong 12 per year. 12 pesos per year. Step, nagre-record pa. Step 3 natin is calculate the cost of debt after tax. The before tax of debt is calculated using the formula of yield to maturity or YTM. So, formula ni YTM is coupon payment. Alam natin. Coupon payment plus redemption value minus proceed over years of maturity. So, pag napag-add natin sila kay coupon rate, i-divide naman natin siya ngayon kay net proceeds plus redemption value over 2. So, substitute natin. Ginamit natin yung given dito. Coupon payment, 12% times 100, 12 pesos per year. Redemption value is 110 minus net proceeds na 95. Years of maturity is 10. So, solve muna natin to. And net proceeds is 95 again. Redemption value, same as nandito, 110. And then, over 2. So, once na nasolve natin yung nasa itaas, coupon payment plus redemption value minus proceeds over years of maturity is 1.5. So, 12 plus 1.5 over 102.5, which is net proceeds, redemption value over 2. So, pag nasolve natin yon, ang lalabas na YTM is 13.5 over 102.5. So, pag dinesimal natin siya, is 0.1317 or 13.17%. Meron ako nilagay dito na, since this is the before tax cost of debt, we need to adjust it for the tax impact. So, kukumpute naman natin yung after tax cost of debt. So, cost of debt after tax, YTM times 1 minus tax rate. So, substitute, YTM natin, nakuha natin dito kanina, 13.70% times 1 minus tax rate na 50%. So, ayan. Is equals to 13.17% times 0.5 and mag-i-equal siya sa 6.585, round off natin, cost of debt natin after tax, 6.59%. Ngayon sa problem 2, Karasuno Limited issues 14% preference share of face value, 100 pesos each, 92 pesos per share. The shares are payable after 12 years at par. So, meron tayong given na 14% dividend rate on preference share, face value of 100, issuance price na 92, and redeemable after 12 maturity date, and also income tax na 50%. So, naglagay ako ulit ng steps. Step 1, calculate the dividend payment. The annual dividend on each preference share is 14% of 100. So, meron tayong dividends na 100 times 14% is equals to 14 pesos per share. Step 2, calculate the cost of preference share. The cost of preference share is calculated at the dividend yield. Cost of preference share formula is equals to dividends over issue price times 100. So, substitute para makuha si cost of preference share. Dividends, 14 per share. Issuance price, 92, given, dito. 92 per share, times 100 lang. So, ang lalabas na sagot natin is 15.22%. Yun lang. Yun yung mga sample problems ko for chapter 7 na cost of capital. Proceed po tayo sa chapter 8, capital budgeting. So, ang mga pre-prepare kong problem dito is more likely parang nasa accounting 1 or fundamentals. Ito, problem 1. Hunter Company has an opportunity to manufacture and sell a new product for a 4-year period. The company's discount rate is 15%. After careful study, Hunter Co. estimated the following costs and revenues for the new product. So, meron silang binigay na given na cost of equipment needed is 520,000, working capital needed is 240,000, overhaul of the equipment in 2 years is 32,000, Salvage value of the equipment in 4 years is 48,000. And binigay din yung annual revenues and costs. So yung sales natin annually is 1 million pesos, sorry. Variable expenses na 480,000. Fixed out pocket operating costs na 280,000 pesos. When the project concludes in 4 years, the working capital will be released for investment elsewhere within the company. Calculate the net present value of this investment opportunity. Round the present value factor to the 3 decimal places. So, particulars natin. Initial cost, beginning, meron tayong 520,000. Working capital needed, 240. Outflows natin is 760,000, which is the sum of these two, initial and working capital needed. So, sa year 1 natin, binigay siya dito, yung annual revenues and costs. So, fix yan, year 1 to year 4. Sales natin is mag-i-stable sa 1 million. Variable expenses natin is 480,000, diretso yan. Fixed cost din natin is 280,000. Pero sa year 2, meron tayong overhaul cost na 32,000 kasi yun ang nasa given. So, overhaul of the equipment in 2 years is 32,000. So, ilalagay natin siya sa year 2. Kasi yun ang schedule ng overhaul ng mga equipments. So, subtract natin to. 1 million minus 480,000 minus 280,000 is equals to 240,000. Yun ang operating cash inflow. So, yung 240,000 is the same sa year 1, year 3, and year 4, pero hindi sa year 2 kasi meron tayong overhaul sa year 2. So, yun. Working capital, i-add natin. This one. Which is, yan, galing dito. Tapos, salvage value ng 48,000, given din. Ililess lang natin siya. So, total cash flow is 400. Bring down. 240, bring down then. And then, add natin, year 4, operating cash flow plus working capital, and then salvage value. Makukuha natin si 528,000 pesos. And then, mag-ano tayo ng par value of 15%. So, makukuha natin is 0.87. 0.756. Sorry, 756. 0.658 and 0.572. So, yun. Ang par value of cash inflows natin is product ng total cash inflow and yung 15%. So, times natin to, makukuha natin to. 208,000 times 0.756 is 157,248. 240,000 times 0.658 is 157,920. And 528,000 times 0.572 is equals to 302,016 pesos. So, total par value of cash inflows, ito yung sum nila year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. Sum to lahat ng cash inflows nila. So, ito total na natin siya dito. And then, cash outflows na 760,000. Less lang natin yan. Ito po yan. Magagaling po siya dito. Yung sum ng beginning initial cost and yung working capital needed. I-deduct natin siya sa total par value of cash inflows. And makukuha natin is net present value, which is 65,984 pesos. So, para lang siyang parang income statement lang din. Ito. Problem 2. An initial investment of 42,000 pesos is expected to generate annual cash flow of 10,000 pesos, 15,000 pesos, 15,000 pesos, and 12,000 pesos, respectively. Assume straight line depreciation and ignore income taxes. So, determine the payback period. Round off, final answer to 2 decimal places. So, simple solution dyan. Cost of investment, 42,000. And generated cash flows yearly is sinabing 10, 15, 15, and 12. So, actually, ito lang yung shortcut. Pero, ito yung step niya. Ang step niya is year by year breakdown of cumulative cash flows. So, year 1, ang sinabi, 10,000. So, solely na 10,000 lang siya. Year 2, 15,000. Pero meron pang year 1 na 10. So, add mo yun, 10,000 plus 15,000. So, i-equals yan ng 25,000. Year 3, 15,000 din. So, year 1 plus year 2, 10 plus 25, 35. So, ito, year 3, sorry. 15,000, 25,000 plus 15,000. Yung total nung year 2. Makakakuha tayo ng 40,000. And then, 40,000 sa year 4 is plus 12,000. So, magiging 52,000. Yun ang cumulative cash flow ng year 4. Pero, ang sinabi is 42,000. So, nearest doon is si year 3. Kasi ang cumulative cash flow niya is 40,000 na. Kasi pag si year 4, 52,000. So, merong difference na negative 2,000 sa year 3, pero positive 12,000. No. 10,000 sa year 4. Sorry. So, kung gagamitin natin is 3 years. Kasi doon natin, yun ang closest. 3 years plus yung 2,000 is nakuha natin sa year 3 cumulative cash flow na 40,000. Yun ang naging difference ng cost of investment minus yung cumulative cash flow na 40,000. So, 2,000 ang makukuha natin dyan. Yan ang ilalagay natin sa 3 years plus 2,000. And yung denominator na 12,000 is nakuha natin sa annual cash flow ng year 4. Ito lang. So, whichever is nearest, yun ang gagamitin natin. And then, denominator lagi is yung latest na cash flow. So, yun, do the math. 3 years plus open and close parenthesis ng 2,000 over 12,000. So, simply, payback period natin is 3.17 years. Yun ang hinahanap ng problem na to. And one more problem. Payback problem ulit. Number 3. An initial investment of 180,000 pesos is expected to generate 100,000 pesos in annual cost savings over the asset's expected 3-year life. Assume straight line method depreciation and ignore income taxes. So, determine the payback period again. So, hindi natin isi-shortcut. Year by year breakdown ulit. Year 1. Year 1 is 10,000, 100, sorry. Year 1 is 100,000 pesos. So, cumulative niya, 100,000. Kasi year 1 pa lang. Year 2, cumulative is 100,000 ulit. So, yung year 1 na 100, plus year 2 na 100 ulit. Magkakaroon tayo ng 200,000 pesos. So, initial investment is 180, which is closest. Year 2, remaining investment to be recovered at the end of year 1 is remaining amount to recover 180, which is the initial investment, minus 100 ng year 1. Nag-exceed na kasi si year 2. So, 80,000 pesos. Since the cash flow in year 2 is 100,000 pesos, the fraction of year 2 needed to recover the remaining 80,000 pesos. So, para makuha natin yung remaining 80,000, ang fraction natin sa year 2 is yung 80,000 na remaining amount to recover over 100,000. If i-denominator natin uli yung latest cash flow. So, yun lang. 80,000 pesos over 100,000 is equals to 0.80 years. And the payback period is full 1 year. Sakop siya ng year 1. So, meron tayong isang buong year. I-add lang natin yung remaining amount to recover. Yun kung gaano siya katagal ma-recover na yung kinumpute natin kanina. 0.80. So, 1 full year plus 0.80 years of year 2. Payback period natin is eto. 1 year plus 0.80 years is equals to 100.80 years. So, yun lang ang kailangan niya para sa problem na to. That's it for chapter 7 and chapter 8. Thank you.